Alright, so this is rig number 1. Alright, gotta just sit in here waiting for to get a server rack of some sort. Not sure exactly what kind of server rack I want to get for this. Let's see here, let's go ahead and crack this thing open. So I am going to change this. I don't like this. I don't like it at all. Not a fan. The Breakout board. HP power supply. It is hot, but not super hot. Alright, that's the setup. So we got air blowing through, and then air being pulled out, going across the back here. So this was the prototype. We did have an issue with that wire there burning out. I think it's because of this barrel plug thing. Maybe it was the cables I got on Amazon. They're not rated what they say they are, not sure. But for the second one I did create a different cable that I'm going to test out first, and then if it works, then I'm going to swap this cable out and then change this cable to actually be the exact same as that one. So hopefully just a little bit safer. So there we have it. Now, it is pulling 785 watts. I'm not really sure what to make of it. So if you guys know anything about the power off the wall or power consumption as it relates to the power output, I know that this won't produce more than 750 watts. So I understand that it's 784 watts to make this produce 750 watts. However, I can crank this thing, I can turn the CPU on and this thing will jump up to like 1200. If you guys know anything about these server power supplies and the wattage as it pertains, help me out here. Is it safe to run this pulling, say, 980 watts? Because if I turn the CPU miner on, then it'll pull 980. So is it okay for a 750 watt power supply to pull 980 watts? I ran it 3 days like that and didn't have an issue other than that cable burnt out. However, something I have noticed, and what I did with the other cable is, so that plug right down there is a 4-pin that plugs into my Pico board. Well, there's only 2 wires that are coming out of here going in to 4 wires, and it was the 2 wires here that burnt out. So that's the only electrical issue that I have had, and I think it's the Pico board is wanting more than what these 2 cables can supply. That's why with the barrel pin goes into 4 wires rather than the 2 wires. So I don't know. I think it'll be a better connection. Haven't tested it out. If you got some theories, throw them down in the comments. Let me know what your theories are. Hopefully it doesn't blow up. Shouldn't blow up. All right, yeah, that's all I got for you now. Just a little update. This has been running for about a week. Haven't had any issues, and this is after I've changed the pen. I actually had no idea what was going on. I had to retake everything back out, unplug all the wires, reset everything up. But a trick I have learned in doing this, if you've already configured a miner within HiveOS with all of your graphic cards, your CPU, all of the settings, if you connect that motherboard back with the USB that you have configured to your HiveOS account, it will cause you to have to reinstall every graphic card. So if you're trying to get it to just boot to see if it'll post, unplug your USB drive that you have HiveOS installed on, so that way when it connects, or when it tries to boot up, if you are doing some configuration or testing on certain things, unplug that, especially if you don't have all your graphic cards plugged in, because if you don't, then you'll have to reinstall every graphic card individually. So it's just a way of checking the or fooling the operating system not to boot into HiveOS, so you don't lose any of your settings. But when you do unplug these, you want to be sure to plug them back in to the same slot. They don't necessarily have to be the same cable, but you want to have, you know, whatever card you have plugged in into that same slot again. I did this pretty easily. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight down. So that way, if I do have to disassemble this and change out anything, power it off, unplug the USB, take the cards out, fix whatever I need to fix, put the cards back in the same exact spot, and you don't have to worry about when you plug the USB back in and power it on, it losing configuration between the cards. It's already configured to work with these cards in those slots, so works out pretty good. Little trick for any of you guys that have run into issues and had to take apart a rig, and have had to boot back into the BIOS, or make sure that the miner would boot back up. Unplug that, and you'll see if it's able to post it and boot into the operating system, because it'll boot straight into your BIOS. So, little trick I've learned in taking these things apart. Video was a lot longer than I expected it to be. Just wanted to give you guys a little update on the rig here. Stay tuned for more.